In this lecture, we're going to apply type hinting to our function. At the moment, our function returns a string. PHP gives us the flexibility to return any type of value. It doesn't know the return type of our functions. It guesses the type during runtime. It's entirely possible to inform PHP of the return type of our function. There are many benefits to doing so. The main advantage is debugging an application. We've talked about this before. PHP is a dynamically typed language. It's capable of changing the data type of a variable at a moment's notice. We do not need to set the types of our variables. While convenient, that doesn't mean there aren't drawbacks. It's possible to use the wrong data type for a specific situation. Rather than deal with the headaches of a dynamically typed language, we can enforce types. By doing so, if we attempt to use a type incompatible with our code, we can be informed of the problem before testing our code. It's an incredibly valuable feature that'll save us hours of debugging. Return types can be enforced by adding a colon character after the parentheses. After this character, we can specify a type. Let's use the string type. Adding this type can help PHP understand the type of value returned by the function. In some cases, we may not always return a type. For example, in our function, we're conditionally dumping the message. I don't think we should return the message from the function if the showMessage parameter is set to true. At the end of the conditional statement, let's return null. As you can imagine, returning a value causes the message to never be returned. This will only occur if the showMessage parameter is true. Returning a null will break our function. It's because we're returning null instead of a string. If we didn't have type hinting in our function, everything would be fine. In these cases, we can update our function by adding a question mark character before the return type. Adding this character allows a null value to be returned by the function. Thus, our function can return a string or null. In some cases, your function may not return anything at all. It's optional to return a value. If your function doesn't return a value, you can set the return type to void. The void data type is a special data type for functions. It was introduced for functions that never return data. In our case, we don't need this type. Regardless, it's good to know. Type hinting is not just available for return types. We can add type hinting to parameters. For example, let's add the integer type to the payment status parameter. Types must be added before the parameter name. Let's add the Boolean type to the second parameter. We're not limited to a single type. PHP supports union types. Unions types are for variables that support different data types. For example, the status variable accepts a number. What if we want to accept the float data type? It's not uncommon to support integers and floats. An additional type can be supported by adding the pipe character followed by the new type. Let's add the float type. We can add as many types as we'd like. Alternatively, you can use a type called mixed. You may have parameters that accept all data types. Rather than listing each possible data type, you can use the mixed data type as a shortcut. This data type was designed to accept all data types for a parameter. For our function, it's not necessary. I'll revert it to the previous union type. Type hinting is the power to explicitly set the data type of our parameters and return values. Enforcing data types reduces the likelihood of errors. However, we're not fully benefiting from type hinting. In the next lecture, let's discuss why this is the case.